So last week in the Champions League, in the Arsenal versus Real Madrid game, Declan Rice hit two absolutely incredible free kicks. Especially that second one, it was crazy, you understand? And obviously after he scored them two free kicks, everyone was sort of asking the question, alright cool, why wasn't Declan Rice on free kicks before? But then I went back and I watched, all of Declan Rice's previous free kicks, and you can tell he was just not the guy from free kicks, you understand. However, this got me thinking about the importance of repetition, because from his old free kicks to the free kicks he scored against Real Madrid, you can see a completely different technique. You know when you can tell that somebody's practiced something, you understand? Because both of his free kicks were like, he's a right footer and it went into they both went to the right hand side of the goal, to Courtois' left. So he's sort of been practicing that sort of wrapping the ball round the wall technique, you understand? Like if you look at his old free kicks compared to his new ones, the old ones, it's a whole different run up, it's a whole different approach to the ball, you understand? So literally that got me thinking, alright cool, this guy's putting repetition after repetition, he's definitely practiced that. So today I want to talk about the importance of repetition as a young footballer. So before COVID, I would only ever play football on the days where I would train, on the days we had team training and on the matches. Obviously, I might have played in school, you know what I'm saying? We used to play in school every single day, but obviously, school matches aren't really the same as, training and, working on your game. It's just, you're just going in there, it's a bit of fun. And the thing is with me, I always wondered that, why was it that I was so inconsistent, I was only training twice a week, playing matches once a week, and I was thinking, why am all my attributes like very inconsistent? The only consistent thing about my game was really my passing, but my shooting was inconsistent. Some days my shooting, I'll be hitting everything in the corners, top bins, and then other days I could barely even get the ball on target, you understand? There'll be days where, I'll be dribbling, I'll be feeling smooth, I'll be feeling fluid in my dribbling, and then there was other days where I couldn't dribble to save my life. And same goes for every single attribute. Some days my first touch will be crisp, but then there'll be other days where, my touch is slightly ahead of me, my touch isn't really sharp, you know what I'm saying? There's times where, even if my touch wasn't horrible and it wasn't, bouncing off me like a brick wall, it still wasn't crisp, it still wasn't sharp, you know what I'm saying? When I was receiving the ball on the back foot, it was still, sometimes the ball would get a little bit stuck under my feet, it wasn't fluid. I know footballers know that feeling, but yeah, literally that's just all comes down to repetition, you understand? But at the time, I didn't really know about repetition. I didn't know the power of repetition. Because I didn't really get the power of hard work. I just thought, we just are what we are, you know what I'm saying? We all have our attributes, we can't really work on it, we all have our strengths and weaknesses, and we just sort of have to deal with it. And I think many young players don't actually appreciate the value of hard work, simply because it takes a long time to see results. It might take, 2 weeks for some people to see results is too much. After 3 or 4 days, they might just say, it's okay, you know what I'm saying? But when I wasn't doing repetition, it'll take me a long time to get a feel for the ball. Have you ever been to the training pitch and maybe you haven't played for 2 weeks, you've been injured, and you go onto the training pitch and your feel for the ball isn't really there, you know what I'm saying? Your feel for the ball isn't really there. It takes you like 10, 15 minutes to really feel warm, to feel like you're one with the ball type of thing. But when I started training every single day during COVID, maybe after like 10 days, maybe 14 days, bro, as soon as I hopped onto that training pitch and I started, warming up, doing kick-ups, dribbling, just getting a feel for the ball, it took me like 2 minutes to get a feel for the ball, and you know what I'm saying? And I was engaged simply because I was just playing football every single day. I used to think, how do the professionals just, without warming up on the first try? You see the professionals on them YouTube videos, like Trent, when Trent was with Chunks and Sharky and all the SDS guys, and they were like, Trent can't hit the crossbar, and he just hit the crossbar first time. It's because, bro, like this guy's probably missed like 2 days of playing football in the last like 6 months, you understand? It's just that repetition, like that's why you see like all the training videos, like you see in like the Chelsea preseason training videos, they're doing shots from the edge of the box, so the ball gets driven into like the D area on the box, the D area in the box, and everyone's just touch, finish, everyone corners, just corners, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's just hitting, even the guys who we didn't expect to be hitting. I saw Madueke was hitting corners, Pedro Neto, obviously João Felix, Jadon Sancho, all of these guys were hitting, you know what I'm saying? And we forget that these guys are professionals, but that's just the power of repetition, you understand? I felt that power of repetition where when I'm in a period where I'm just playing every single day, like I've played every single day for about 3 weeks straight, for some reason everything is just crisp. I can literally, it gets to the point where I can literally go to the training pitch, haven't warmed up, haven't done anything, and I literally just do a few kick-ups. I'll do a few kick-ups, I'll boot the ball in the sky, and I'll kill it dead, you understand? I'll literally just kill it dead, simply because I've been playing, I've been doing those repetitive actions. I'm sharp, basically, you know. Sharpness in football is a big thing. I'm just sharp. But if I haven't played for 2 weeks, if I try just hop onto the training pitch, do a few kick-ups, boot the ball, bro, the chances of me bringing that ball down is slim to none. Or same as, like, let's say I've warmed up, I've done everything, and I go into like a shooting drill. When I've been playing for 3-4 weeks, just training, just getting a feel for the ball, just training a lot, bro, all the shots are just hitting, all the shots. Maybe it takes me like 2 shots to get warm, and then everything's just hitting. Whereas if you're only playing, you know, twice a week, 3 times a week, it's gonna take you a while. Your shots are gonna be inconsistent. So trust me, repetition as a footballer is so key. Just that sharpness, you know what I'm saying? So if you're a young player, in my opinion, just aim to train every day. Aim to train every day. You don't have to, you know, do intense training sessions every day. I would recommend, you know, you do 2 intense training sessions, 2 medium training sessions, and then 2 very, very light training sessions. So what do I mean by this? The 2 light training sessions, I'm talking about literally just getting a feel for the ball and in your garden or in your local park, you understand? You don't even have to bring cones with you. The light sessions, you may not even have to bring cones with you. It's literally just you doing kick-ups, doing ball passes, maybe just working on your close control, just getting a feel for the ball. These can take maybe like half an hour, you know what I'm saying? Half an hour, 45 minutes, and you're out of there. The medium sessions, they're like, okay, cool, 1 hour, 1 hour 15, you know what I'm saying? 1 hour, 1 hour 15, where you might bring cones, but it's still not 100%. And then the heavy sessions, those are the ones where it's like you're sweating, you're working at a high intensity. These ones tend to last, you know, for the whole duration, including the warm-up, probably like an hour and a half, you know what I'm saying? An hour and a half plus, however much you want to do. I would recommend, you know, don't do more than 2 hours, because after 2 hours, it's sort of like, you don't really get the gauge, you know what I'm saying? After 2 hours, you're sort of dilly-dallying, you know, you can't keep that intensity for more than like what? For more than 2 hours. After 2 hours, you're probably just messing around. You might just check your phone while you're training. You're just going through the motions a little bit. So yeah, literally, I would just recommend for young players, because with young players, it's just all about volume. One weakness that many footballers have is improving their weak foot. For some reason, a lot of players I've spoken to just can't seem to figure out how to improve their weak foot, whether they're right-footed or left-footed. But luckily for you, I've made a course on how to improve your weak foot. This course is currently in the works. In this course, I'm going to be showing you drills. I'm going to be teaching you how to get better at, you know, different aspects of the game in terms of your weak foot. So passing, your shooting, your dribbling, and I'll be teaching you stuff outside of the pitch that can actually help your weak foot as well, you know, things that no other football YouTuber is talking about. So if you're interested, if you want to improve your weak foot, click the first link in the description, get the course, and trust me, you won't regret. Your weak foot will 100% improve. So yeah, think about it. If you're playing football 6 times a week, even if some of the training sessions are light, even if all the sessions aren't that intense, if you're playing 6 times a week compared to someone playing twice a week, the guy playing twice a week, he's having how many training sessions? What, 104 training sessions, something like that, in terms of a whole year. And if you're doing 6 times a week, you're doing about how many? What, 312? I'm pretty sure that's the math. 312 compared to what? I forgot the number. 312 compared to 104. That's like over 200 more sessions over a year. Now do that over 2 years. Now do that over 3 years. And plus, that player who's only training twice a week, he's only doing team training sessions. And you know, in team training sessions, you don't get the same amount of reps. You have to listen to the coach, you know. There's always stoppages in play because the coach has to talk to you, has to say something, he has to explain the drill. Even if you're doing like a shooting drill, you have to wait for your other teammates. You know, you shoot, you go out the back of the line, and then you have to wait for like 10 other guys to shoot before you can get your shot off. But if you're training by yourself, bro, you get all the reps in the world, especially if you have more than one football, especially if you have like 5 footballs, you get so many reps in one go that, trust me, the amount of reps you get, your shooting's gonna improve, your dribbling, whatever you need to do. Plus, when you're training by yourself, you can work on your weaknesses. You understand? If you're only going to like your 2 team training sessions a week, then you don't really get to work on what you want to work on. Maybe you're a defender and the coach says, yo, we're doing shooting drills today. You're thinking, yo, what the hell? Like, shooting is fun, don't get me wrong, but if you're really focused on, you know, improving like your 1v1, or you're a fullback, you really want to focus on your crossing, but the coach says, nah, we're focusing on shooting. You're gonna be like, yo, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? So it's one of them ones where, trust me, just try as a footballer, just try get your touches in every single day. It's just about volume. Literally, just even on the light session, just have a day where it's like, alright, cool. This session I'm only gonna use my weak foot. You understand? Maybe you just wanna say, oh, alright, cool. I'm only gonna use my weak foot this one. So yeah, think about the numbers I just said. 312 hours of training compared to 104 hours of training. You understand? This is the difference between guys who are playing Sunday League and guys in the academies. The academy guys, they're training every single day, and you wonder why they're better than you. You wonder why they stay in the academy. You wonder why you struggle to break through. You have to be better than you know, at least half of the guys playing academy football. So let's say you want to join a certain academy. In order to get in, you need to at least be better than at least half the players, or at the very minimum, at least maybe 5 of the players, for the coaches to be like, alright, cool, we need to bring this guy in. You understand? Bro, these guys are playing, like I said, 6 days a week. They're getting 200 hours on you per year. Go 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line, 4 years down the line. That's once we get to like 5 hours, that's 1,000 more hours than you at football. And you wonder why academy guys are like that. You wonder why academy guys are just levels above everyone else. It's just a case of just volume and just repetition. They just do this. They do this every single day, and that's how you have to be as a footballer. Obviously, you have your other things. Obviously, you have to work on your fitness as well. You have to work on fitness, your gym work. But trust me, in my opinion, football is a skill-based sport. You understand? Because it's a skill-based sport, skills pay the bill. So ultimately, you just have to work on the technical aspects of the game. Athleticism can take you a long way, but skills will always pay the bills in football. It's not a sport like basketball or the NFL. You understand? Skills will always pay the bills. We all know how many we all know athletic players who aren't the best technically. Yeah, they make it in football, but let's be honest, there's so many more players who aren't the most athletic, but because they're just technically gifted like that, they outshine the rest. And those are the players who actually tend to have a longer career. So hey, if you want longevity in your career, it's always the technical players as opposed to the athletes. You understand? So yo, if you want a longer career, make sure you're getting your touches in every single day. All aspects of your game. If there's certain areas where you want to improve specifically, then do that. You know what I'm saying? But literally, even like I said, in your intense sessions, you can really do focused work on your shooting, dribbling, passing, whatever you want to do. But even in the light sessions, couple kick-ups, working on your first touch, just kicking the ball up in the sky, bringing it down. Kick-ups with both feet, learning how to dribble with your weak foot. Doing passes against the wall. Whatever you want to do, trust me, it's just all about volume. Just try get it in every single day, even if it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Just try get it in. But that's the vid for today. I hope you enjoyed. I've been JT, and I'm out.